Good evening. My name is Brett Thomas, one of the Operations Section Chiefs here on Great Basin Team 1. Wanted to give you a quick evening update here on the Swan Lake fire. So today I would say that we had a very successful day out there across the entire incident. I'll start over here on the western side of the fire and what we refer to as Branch 1. So as we've shared before, our emphasis over here is certainly toward all the values at risk in Sterling and the other associated communities there. And Division Charlie continued to have a very successful day, striving to meet those mop-up goals there. A lot of hard work out there, and there still continues to be quite a bit of work in our future there. But the crews are working well together. A lot of saw work out there, a lot of hose lays, etc. So we're moving a lot of water and doing quite a bit of mop-up there. Coming around the horn here on the southern end of the fire in what we call Division Echo. Division Echo today, we actually did not have any crews in there, and we were just kind of focused on some mechanized work in and around some of the values and the associated recreation sites in there. Again, we're still living on some hard work that was done a few days before with some aviation assets that provided some protection in there to those sites as we experienced quite the runs in here in this part of the fire when we had some of those northerly winds. So of course, yesterday we had a very successful burning operation along the highway that's been mentioned prior. There still remains some unburned islands of fuel that cleaned up pretty well today. And so our goal clearly is to see these two pieces kind of come together, and hopefully the level of smoke will diminish over the next few days. But again, it was very noticeable as some of the areas around that Juliet dip site is what we refer to it, but that area had quite a bit of fire intensity there. As we come around the corner in what we call Division Kilo, again, the crews there are using some of the boats that we have obtained and that we've used from some of the locals to get across the Kenai River, proceed up that hill utilizing hose lay and hand line construction. Those crews had a very successful day as well, but they continue to have quite a bit of work in their future. They're striving to get up to an elevation where some fuel types will change for them and that will be certainly less combustible. We also had a crew assigned in we had several crews assigned, but starting off, if you will, around the Fuller Lake area, we had one interagency hotshot crew assigned in there. They continue to use some hose lays and work in there, and some of that fire activity is a little bit subdued in there because it is quite sheltered and a little bit shaded. As we come around the corner into what we call Division Lima, up the Juneau Creek area, we did experience some increased activity in the previous evening. Probably around a couple hundred acres is our estimate in there. We certainly experienced some fire activity in there. It was a little bit reduced. We were able to get some helicopters in there today and work about midday once that smoke cleared, and that was certainly to our advantage. Over the coming days, if we can get a little bit of a wind shift in there, we hope to engage some crews in there, but in the meantime, we're going to rely on some aviation assets to keep that fire in check. Just certainly we wanted to focus on the efforts that have been going on for several days and continue on around Cooper Landing. So the Cooper Landing Structure Group, as we call it, it's a mixture of crews and engines that we have, and they've been putting in some mechanized dozer line, also some fuel kind of mastication tools is what's called, but we are working hard in there, working well with the community as well, with the local fire department. And so those folks continue to assess the properties in there. We're using some plans that were developed previously by some of the previous teams, and we're looking to put those plans into play given the proximity of where this fire is and recognizing the threat that does exist. And so we would be prepared in the event if there was a movement of the fire down to the south. Overall, a good day during the day operations. We also have a night shift developed, and so we will have resources assigned to the incident throughout the evening. Their focus is along the highway to monitor smoke, to monitor any trees that may come across the highway and deal with those appropriately, and certainly to focus in and around the communities here within Cooper Landing. So that's a wrap for the kind of a late evening assessment of the Swan Lake fire, and thanks for tuning in.